Beautiful. Thank you so much, everyone. And I would love to welcome on Dr. Sue Morter. Welcome.
Welcome to the Winter Solstice. Thank you so much for being here as part of our celebration. The celebration is happening, but it is always more fun when we can come together. Joining from around the world, we are gathered here in a network of love and a divine kinship. We generate a family of choice every single time that we choose to the yes of the soul. When we are here celebrating the solstice, we are truly engaging in something that has been happening since the beginning of time. Since we come into the dimension where space and time exist, we have been celebrating where we come from. The gateways are open at this time of the year like no other time. What I mean by the gateways being open is literally the constellations move in such an alignment that there is a light that is able to descend upon the planet in its purest form without distortion, without hesitation. Its perfection is receivable and perceivable like no other time of the year. Every indigenous culture has celebrated light at this time. Whether it is Kwanzaa or Diwali, or it is Hanukkah or Christmas, whether it is in an organized fashion or the pagan religions from the beginning of time, it is every single individual who has been in touch with the cosmos and the cosmic effects of light upon the planet is knowing that at this time we are open and able. We are able to transcend the outer world in a much easier way at this time. It is in our favor that we look inward. It is in our favor that we drop into the darkness of the long nights, the shortness of the day, that we spend time in introspection and we allow for presence to have its way. In a world and at a time when so much is being pulled into the mental form of concern, worry, wondering what our future looks like, and altering our regular traditions and our familiarities, at a time when hearts are broken because we cannot be with loved ones in moments that we would have always been able to be. There is a great stir upon the planet, and that great stir, my friends, is in divine right timing. It is in divine order, for we are always being beckoned to become available rather than moving into the material manifested world, so much so that we forget that we are made of creator stuff, that we are the creative energy that has pressed itself down upon this planet and is here revealing itself. And at this time of year, it is able to do so in less of a distorted manner than any other time. The divine that is passing through you, and as you open your hearts and open your bodies and open your minds at this time of the year, we allow for a great flushing, a washing through to occur. And as we participate with that great wash, what happens is we begin to emerge. As the days become longer from this moment forward and the nights become shorter, we begin to blossom and emerge, bringing ourselves into the springtime, into the summertime, into the robust abundance of the autumn time, cycling and cycling and cycling until we finally wash enough times that we surrender to the great cycle of life. That cycle that it is always creating and sustaining and allowing you to let go of that which is no longer needed. That the graceful falling away of patterns and perceptions and ideas that you must continue to perceive yourself through the eyes of something that has happened long ago. That we become present to the now moment and we bring the divine light and medicine that we are. We bring it to the surface of life. And when we allow this to happen, we are truly fulfilling our divine purpose on the planet. And so this evening is a celebration of remembrance, of remembering the energies that we are, of bringing forth the essence of our history and our lineage, bringing forward the traditions that are truly supporting our awakening and our embodiment. At this time of the year, we are so invited to surrender into a great unfoldment. We are being invited into the love that we truly are. We are being invited into the awareness, the stillness of this night. The stillness of this long night allows for presence to descend into the body, for consciousness to descend into the unconscious, for our intention of choosing to come to this planet in the first place. When that original choice is made, there are mountains of energy that gather together, formulating the I am that you perceive as you walk the surface of this earth. The attributes of courage or joy, compassion and love, the capacities for forgiveness, for reinvention, beginning again, the spark of inspiration, all of this comes together and more at a moment when, as if the words I am were spoken, the beginning of you as an energy being, descending and descending and descending to the planet and landing here as you compress yourself to this presence in the physical dimension. And from that moment forth, you begin to rise. And on this night, your ability to enhance your capacity for rising is supported like no other time. For it is when we know, feel, and sense and embody the truth of who we are, we rise with certainty and clarity. We rise with love and compassion because we are no longer preoccupied with safety. We are no longer striving or trying to survive. We are truly thriving in the fullness of spirit. And so as we rise after this evening, may it be that we rise with a greater sense of self, with a greater sense of knowing this deep truth of who we are. We are gathered here together, thousands of us from around the world, and we are here for one purpose, and it is to celebrate the light that we are. We will be drumming, we will be hearing stringed instruments that carry us into the divine. We will feel the indigenousness of our physicality. We will be exposed to the presence of the angelic aspects of who we be when we began our journey to descend. We are not human beings. We are simply being human. And we are here gathered with our beloved Fred Johnson, our beloved Jeralyn Glass, our beloved Reverend Michael Beckwith will be with us this evening as well. And most importantly, we have you. We are gathered here as a family in mass. We have practitioners gathered from around the world that I have been working with for years, some for a shorter period of time, working with learning how to hold the space, to magnify and amplify as we delve in to the pinnacle moment of this evening of a healing transmission. And this is where you come in. It is about you allowing the light of you to be here fully, to be more than valid, to be more than deserving, but to be celebrating your divinity, to be celebrating that you have chosen to come into this dimension and bring the light that you are. So we begin. I'd love to bring forth for you first my beautiful friend, Fred Johnson. Fred has devoted his life to unity consciousness, and he is completely in service to bringing that forward in every individual through song, through drumming, through the beautiful presence of melody. You will see what it is that Fred brings instantly. I first met Fred at a Transformational Leadership Council meeting. Instantly, I fell in love. I know that you will too. Let us welcome our brother Fred. Welcome, Fred. Thank you so much for being with us at this glorious time of year. You are this light that we celebrate. I'm going to let you do your thing. Ladies and gentlemen, Fred Johnson.
In this perfect moment now, we lovingly surrender and awaken to the fullness of I am. From north and south and east and west, we gather in the fullness of the breath of now. You, we, the oneness. You, we, the oneness. Embrace and feel in this perfect moment now. Full light, perfect light, the divine light of creation. You, we as one, nurtured by this breath of life that we share, this journey we take together. We float on the wings of our ancestors who breathe into us a deep wisdom that tells us deep within our hearts, you, we, I, the oneness of now. As we surrender, as we embody, illumined by the light of creation, in this perfect moment now, as we're being molded, energetically awakened to our fullness. Breathe in and with your heart say, breathe in the light. In this perfect moment, I feel you, I know you, I see in your eyes and feel the perfection that we share, the divine oneness. And so in this perfect moment now, as we celebrate the solstice, may we breathe in and know that as one we shine through the divine light that touches us now so perfectly. We breathe in and know and feel and say, us now as we celebrate together, guided by our sister. And so it is, we united as one, the pure vibration of our being sings now. As we embody the light, as we embody the light, as we embody the light. How perfect this moment as we, as one, embody the light. Breathe in, breathe out.
My brother friend, I know the world is clapping in their own homes right now and just celebrating that you are celebrating. I know that you know. I know that you know the power of the recognition that we are the light coming here, rather than spending our lives seeking the light, trying to find it. The reason that we don't is because we are it. We are that which we are seeking. And so people do not find it because they're so busy looking. And I know that you are this animated, and you bring this to us through this joyous expression in this manner. So if you have a few words that you'd like to share, or anything else that you would like to offer up for us.
I just so powerfully feel at this time that we really, really are being called. We can feel it, in the midst of so much of what might appear to be misunderstood. It's just a tremendous opportunity for us to breathe into the fullness, to recognize, to really be in the now, to feel the energy of being, to cherish every breath, to recognize that this chain of wonderful breaths that we receive empower us in every moment, call to us to be in this moment now all that we can be, to call out, to look into each other's eyes. This one particular quote that was shared with me many, many years ago by Mohandas Gandhi, by the great Mahatma Gandhi, who said, "He who cannot see the divine in the eyes of the next person that he meet need look no further." This is our opportunity to reach forward, to look into each other's eyes, to feel each other's breath, to be in gratitude, and to participate in the building blocks of this wholeness, the song of the breath. I had a great teacher who once said to me, most people think that when we come into the world, the first sound that we make is, but it's not. The first sound that we make when we come into the world is, and we sing that song in every moment of this divine, amazing journey. And so now is the time for us to find the harmony of the song of our breath, and to follow and know and awaken and open our arms and our being and receive this light, to embody this light, and in our own individual, yes, yet collective way, be the allness, be the creativity that we were called to be. And this evening, this night of the solstice begins that. And so we share our song, we share our breath together, and I feel it. I just know it, and I know it every time I hear you speak. You know, so it's an honor and perfect that we're being called together to walk this path with you, and to be reminded and guided to understand and to feel and awaken. You know, quake that energy so that we can be a part of it. So I'm happy to be here and be a part of this journey with all of creation.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Fred. Let's breathe with everyone around the world in this moment, in the same breath that you were just demonstrating. As simple as that. It is how we came in. It is how we are supposed to be continuing our life the entire time that we are here. This eternal being that comes into this body form and is living here is spirit in the body. Breath in the body is spirit in the body. When we can keep the mind on the breath in the body and never lose it, never lose touch with the breath in the body, we are in effect training the mind to serve the soul. We're training the mind to steward spirit, to steward it throughout the life experience. Let us stay conscious of the breath, and let us practice this, everyone around the world right now. A simple inhale and an exhale. And an inhale again, and an exhale, and an inhale again, and an exhale. This is the movement of spirit in the body. And this is what Fred assigns a beautiful melody to, and the next thing you know, hearts are melting open and spirits are soaring. And this is what we are capable of all of the time. So Fred, thank you so much for being here with us. Is there anything else that you would like to share before we move to our next section of our evening?
Just for us to remember that it is possible. It is absolutely possible. That you know, it's the prescription, and to focus on the knowingness that it is, and it is possible.
Whatever it is, whatever the it is, it is
whatever
possible.
it is, it's
Whatever
possible.
the it is, it
That's
is
right.
possible.
That's right.
You know, we're made of creator stuff. We're made of God stuff. We're made of the creative energy that we spend so much of our lives trying to receive. If we just flip it over and realize, I am that, and then we can start to bring it out in whatever ways we feel so inspired to do, so much more easily. And when we do this, we bring our medicine, because what we are made of is the infinite. We are made of the universe, compressed into a funnel, compressed into a channel, descending into this earth and hitting it and rising up again and rolling forward, rolling out and fountaining out and expressing ourselves in every way that we feel so drawn to do. And here on this night of the solstice, we are here to qualify, to rectify, to purify, to magnify, and to amplify the rising of this soulful presence in its full perfection. And we do so through the quality of love. Thank you, Fred, for bringing the love that you are and infusing it into our family and our newfound friends that are joining us this evening for the first time. Welcome. And for infusing your love, Fred, into these hearts and minds of people around the world this evening. Thank you so much for being with us.
It's my honor. Thank you.
Blessings, my friend. Yes. We are truly so very blessed to be able to recognize that a moment such as the solstice, which science would describe as the shortest day and the longest night, and spirituality would describe as the greatest opportune moment of a year, that it is a time of introspection. It is a time of embracing the dark, embracing the great void, embracing the unknown. What that says to me is that it is time for us to embrace what we have not yet created, the unborn parts of our creativity, the unaccessed aspects of our imagination, to allow what it is that we would have be true, to learn how to support, to celebrate that without marginalizing it or suppressing it as invalid, throwing it under the bus or leaving it behind as we move out doing what we think we're supposed to do and following the rules or the guidelines of the effects of what we have been through and have compromised ourselves to be, and now trying to make do best we can. Life is meant for so much more than that. That is not the prescription that we wrote when we chose to come. We are divine light, and there is a moment when divine light is at its boiling point, where it is moving into expansion, and you were there in a moment where a spark of inspiration was rolling off of this great divine presence, this great central sun, which we will speak about later. And in that moment, you chose to become. You were the participant in a moment of consciousness expanding. And in that moment, these qualities came rushing together, generating a presence that is what you call I am. That presence then descended to the earth and has landed in the spot that you call body. It has landed in the earth and rising up and generating a recycling of essence on a continual basis. And remote healers, might you just activate what you know now about netting us together, as I've been working with them to hold us in a space of truly a divine presence, an overlapping of our energies. And they are amplifying and magnifying that even as we speak in this moment. I can feel the heat in my hands and my crown lighting up and igniting as we begin to explore the vibrational frequencies of what this moment is truly about. For in the darkest, longest period of silence and not knowing, something new can birth to be known. When we're so busy knowing and seeing and looking and doing, we are oftentimes unaware of the wholeness of our being that is ready to rise. There is an internal tide, a groundswell of presence that is wanting to emerge through the system that you sit here as this evening. You have always wanted it to reveal. You have often felt that something is about to happen, that there is a moment where I'm about to step through a threshold. And my friends, I want you to understand that the reason that we feel that something grand is about to happen, I'm about to put the pieces together, something is about to flourish, is because we do not have the circuits in place for it to go ahead and happen. And so on this night, may we allow something great to actually happen. May we allow the darkness to be. Would you take a drink with me? May we allow the darkness to be a smorgasbord within which anything can happen. Because it is dark, we can gather. Imagine in this moment how it is that you feel when you are in a dark room and you must walk across this room. There is a tendency for you to become lucid and super conscious, very aware of every step that you're taking. There is a gathering and a quickening that occurs. I would invite you to do this exercise sometime in the next 24 hours. Place yourself in a room where there are no windows and move about in this room and walk, and move your hands, move your body with your eyes wide open, seeing nothing. You are activating similar circuits to how it is that creativity starts to birth through this system that we are. And that quickening, that presence that happens behind the eyes in your deep core central channel, The quickening that occurs there is the same quickening that would allow you to not only cleverly come up with a new way of doing something, a plan of approach with a new project that is in your life, but to actually approach that with what has heart and meaning. Actually approach it with the essences, the energies of your own soul's purpose. Your own soulful spiritual presence on this planet has a divine presence and a divine purpose. It is here for reason, and the mind need not know exactly what the reason is. The mind need only serve it, because it cannot know ahead of time. As we were just speaking, Fred and I and you, as we were in conversation about this glorious quality of presence, the greatest tool that you will ever cultivate is the ability to be fully present in any moment, not thinking ahead, not pre-planning, not trying to squeeze it into what you think it should be, but rather enjoying and delighting in the creativity that is happening in the now moment. All the while having a grand intention, having a glorious vision for your life, and knowing that as you have that vision and you allow this quickened state of super awareness to be the channel through which it flows, knowing that it will unfold not only with tremendous, glorious success and profound victory and celebration, it will actually be enjoyable along the road. This is the key. The secret ingredient is joy. May we infuse joy into the darkness. We're so used to infusing joy into the experiences that we're familiar with, that bring up laughter, that cause us to feel in certain ways. But I assure you, my friends, when you tap your creative genius and you allow it to rise and to swell and to emerge and to unfold, the experience is exponentially more joyful. It is surprising and full of awe and wonder all at the same time. It is unfolding and manifesting, and you're watching it unfold before your eyes. You have no idea how it's happening, except that you know. You know because you've recognized, I am the light that is descending. I am pure consciousness itself. Consciousness is energy at its highest form. The light of awareness is what we are. When we turn the lights on, we're identifying with the truth of who we are. When we have an aha and a revelation, it is simply because our mind has landed on, oh, there I am. That is the truth of me, and it feels so good. Think in this moment, you're walking through this room, you have no lights, you're making your way through. Instead of being afraid of tripping or stubbing your toe, move with grace. And if you come upon something that is going to cause you to turn to the right or to the left, it is divine guidance. It might look like a wall, but it is divine guidance in this moment. Allow the divine guidance to be exactly what you need in exactly every moment. And you practice that walk, because that walk is the winter solstice. It is the walk of the divine. It is the walk of the divine walking in the void. Creator, where nothing exists, loves it. When we are identified as creator, as the artist loves a blank canvas, creator loves the void. The creator loves the not knowing, because inside of the not knowing, a spark of inspiration will rise, will descend and rise through this system, and it will start to move you in a path that is your divine, right, orchestrated unfoldment. It is what is meant to be, and it will reveal itself as soon as the troubled mind allows the celebration of not knowing. When I do not know in this moment, I know that I am in touch with the divine. And as soon as I celebrate, the moment that I celebrate the not knowing, suddenly there's a knowing. And it has depth and richness, and it is integrated, and it is the embodied version of the spirit self here now. And as we allow this to be the truth of our life path, We find ourselves in the richness of success and abundance. We find ourselves in the richness of love and sharing. We find ourselves in the richness of creativity in the now moment. And there is nothing more pure and nothing more right than that. That's why we're here. Of all the places that we could go, we come here. It's not by mistake. You didn't land in the wrong family. You're not on the wrong planet. You're just not realizing the point of all of this. The point of all of this is, can I remember once I get in the game, I'm going in, and as I go through the compression that it takes to even arrive here in the third dimension, we get into the squeeze and we forget the expansiveness that we were in when we chose to come. And when we forget along the way, that too, my friends, is part of the divine plan. It's part of why we're here, so that we could awaken, so that we could draw upon the not knowing, that we could dive in and surrender into the great void and find ourselves in that darkness, so that we could gather, quicken, anchor, and in that moment, the spark of true self can emerge, can begin to flicker into wakefulness and begin to stir its way up and out of this system that we call I am, this beautiful toric field flow. More on that to come. But of course, in this now moment, we have yet another glorious and wonderful gift for you. Now, this individual that I am to share with you at this moment is a beloved, beloved, beloved soul brother of mine. The moment that we connected, I knew that he knew, and I knew that we were meeting in the great divine. And I knew that we would dance there for the years to come, and we do. A beautiful spirit individual on this planet for one purpose only, to ignite the clarity of consciousness in humanity, to awaken the divine, to awaken the divinity within humanity. This man does with every breath he takes. A very huge spirit, someone who has devoted his life to the unfoldment of human consciousness, to the ability for people from all walks of life to find a home in the divine, in a shared conversation called agape. We have with us Reverend Michael Beckwith, who is one of the treasured global citizens on this planet. And we have him here for a few moments by my heartfelt request. Michael, can you just show up and give him just a few minutes of you? Because I know what it will do for the planet. Because the planet thinks that the planet is confused, but the planet is simply in the void. The planet is in this dark room, and we are inviting them to find the quickened state version of them so that they can walk their creatorship out to the surface of life. And nothing brings me more joy than to share this spark of inspiration with all of you around the world at this moment in time. And so might I welcome our beloved friend, Reverend Michael Beckwith.
And Dr. Sue,
Yes.
he's not here yet.
Not here yet?
Not here
Very
yet.
good. You can let me know when he comes. So as we are here in this moment, I would like to invite you to envision yourself having felt the quickened state of being in this great void, being in the void and not being able to see with these eyes and being forced to see with your first eye, often called the third eye, that here in this moment, that you allow your inner vision to take precedence in your life, that you allow a deepening of your focus inside your own system. And that deepening of your focus inside your own system will allow you to tap into a greater sense of your own creative essence, your own creative truth. And as such, we begin to nurture it simply by allowing. Know that in these moments when we do not know what to do, all we need do is quicken in the core. later, we're going to be doing a healing transmission. Let me go over something now that will allow you to receive more from those transmission energies. There is a central channel that runs down through the central core of your being. This channel is the ray of light that has descended itself as you to this planet, and the descension of self, of soul, of spirit that happens. Spirit descends, touches the earth, and rises. As Mother Earth, Mother Gaia holds the vessel for that to occur, we begin to rise, and soul rises. As soul begins to rise, what happens is it begins to try to find its way into a full-on expression in this world throughout this lifetime. And we are here this evening to enhance our ability to allow that rising to occur without distortion, so that we begin to rise as the soul, as the equivalent, as the spirit self who chose to come and descended and chose to engage in this beautiful game called being human. And so within this central channel, we can activate certain ways of anchoring ourselves in this body, because the body plays an integral role in allowing a transmutation, a transconfiguration, and a reduction of this grand spiritual light, the unified field, transduced into something that can be consumed at the human level. The body allows this insulation, if you will. And so gently bring your shoulder blades together and drop them down. Roll your shoulders open and allow your heart to be free. Allow yourself to set your heart free from the inside. Imagine, if you can, that there is a moment where things in your past that shut you down have been rewritten, that you can see them and sense them and feel them in a rewritten form, as if you were gloriously embraced in love in that moment, rather than encountering something that was challenging, something that was defeating or deflating to you in that moment. Imagine that this upliftment of reconfiguration is happening even now. And roll your eyes up for just a moment. Feel that tension just behind the eyes. Feel that tension behind the eyes, and allow yourself to know that there is an alignment between this space behind the eyes, this space just behind this beautiful heart space, and even lower still, at the base, the tip, the root of your spine. That here, by having access to this groundedness at the very root of your being, that you too can start to qualify these energies that are descending from the great divine and rising up as the toric field flow that we call I am. The body vehicle that you have created, the mind you have created to steer it in this life experience upon the surface of this planet. And so if we can gently pull the navel back to the spine, maybe contract the muscles at the base of the pelvic bowl for just a moment to anchor that along with what's happening at the shoulder blades and happening in the center of the brain. And in these moments, these extra moments that we have been able to share together, as our beautiful brother has made his way to our gathering, we will be able to receive more from him if in this moment we take a deep breath in from overhead, breathing down through the center of your brain, down through the chest, into the belly, and exhale down into the earth. And inhale up from the earth into the belly, and exhale up through the throat, through the center of your brain, and just make it up for those of you that are here. Just imagine exhaling it out the top of your head. And as such, you are now prepared with everything that we have been sharing so far to hear the words of our beloved brother, Reverend Michael. Reverend Michael, welcome, my dear friend. my beautiful, beautiful spirit friend. I said so many wonderful things about you. I'll have to brief you later on how much I love you and how much I've confessed that to the world, and how blessed we are to have you with us here this evening.
Sue Morter, I'm so happy to be with you anytime I can be with you. It's such a beautiful blessing. And you look so celestial as you're anchoring these powerful energies on earth with such radiance, and everything you've been teaching for the couple of moments that I jumped on is absolutely fantastic. I mean, you're basically allowing us to see that we are descended masters, that we're not trying to be ascended masters. We're basically descended masters, bringing the infinite, eternal, that which is timeless and forever, bringing it into time through it as each and every one of us.
Yes,
and that in this moment, you know, I glean so much just looking at you. Did you want me to speak or answer any questions? How do you want me to
Absolutely. I'm going to turn it over to you and let you fly, because I know what happens when you do this. Yeah. And so I give it to you, my friend. Have the moments that you would love to share, and then I'll chime in at the end. Okay? Let's take it away, Reverend Michael.
Very good. So as I was saying, you know, Sue reminded us that we are descended masters, that we're not loftily trying to ascend anywhere, but that we're seeking to have our container so strong and so able to hold more of the cosmic energy that we bring the realm of ever expanding good, which is another name of heaven, to earth through and as each and every one of us. We are joyfully reminded that we are pure awareness, that we're pure consciousness, and that like the ocean is pure water, whether it's the Atlantic, whether it's Pacific, whether it's the Indian Ocean, that's the ocean. And then what's in the ocean is its content. There's seaweed, there's plankton, there's boats, there's human pollution, there's fish. But the ocean is not the content, and the content is in the ocean, but it's not the ocean. We're pure awareness, and we have content. The content is our perceptions, our points of view, our positionalities, our beliefs, our interpretation of experiences, our woundedness. All of that is content, but that's not who we are. It's passing through. So even through the spiritual practice that Sue just gave every being, there comes a moment where you have an insight and you realize that you're not the content. You are the space, the infinite space of pure awareness holding the content. And every time you have an insight that you're not the content, you're waking up to your real nature. You're coming into a state of enlightenment, enlightenment being that we're always enlightened. We're just removing the obscurations from the mind that would prevent us from seeing that which is real, that which is eternal. So with the awareness that you are pure awareness, you're not content, as you enter into your sadhanas, your spiritual practices, you have an insight into that. And you'll be able to say, I am, without saying, I am this stuff passing through. That's temporary. Most people, however, are identified with that which is passing through. They're identified with the content as their identity. And then what happens? The shifting, the constellation of shifting personalities that are reproducing that content keeps creating more experience, obtaining more thought forms, creating more experience. And individuals keep re-experiencing the content based on that limited perception. Not you. You are here with Sue to break free from the limitations of that, to see that you're pure awareness, but you're bringing that into time. You're bringing that, as she was teaching, into the body. You're bringing that here so that you are literally with a body being free and liberated, and are able to absolutely bring into your life experience, into this destiny, that which is not merely a reaction to circumstance, but that which is directly from your soul. What do I mean by that? It is said over and over and over again that we're the image and likeness of God. Sometimes we need to break that down, because the presence of God, if you want to use that word, is formless, it's timeless, genderless. the presence of God is a presence that's never an absence. It's love, beauty, intelligence, consciousness. It's conscious of itself. So it's formless. So the image and likeness of God doesn't mean we look like God. It means that we share a faculty with the presence. And that faculty is that we can think independent of an experience. So just as the proverbial Big Bang came out of no thing, not even a grain of sand, it came out of the presence contemplating existence, that which stands apart, existence, galaxies, a cosmos, galaxies, solar systems, universe, multidimensional universes, living biology, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Out of nothing, you being the image and likeness of God, understanding you're not really the content passing through, but your awareness itself, that out of nothing can bring forth such light, such love, and such beauty, such abundance, such joy, such wholeness, out of nothing, out of no thing, I should say, but shifting your awareness and entering into such practice that you become prone to insight that makes you an extemporal being. Now, what do I mean by insight? An insight is an event that takes place in your consciousness. Remember your pure consciousness. An insight that takes place in consciousness where you suddenly or incrementally know something you formerly believed is now become real to you. It's an aha moment. You see it. So your spiritual practice is bringing you to the awareness that you are a descended master. You're pure consciousness. You're not the content passing through. Your spiritual practice provides the context for an insight that makes you extemporal, out of time, because an insight is eternal. It's an eternal truth. It's timeless. So when it hits you, you incrementally, you for a moment become timeless. You're not in time anymore. And then what do you have to do? You have to integrate that timeless insight. You have to stabilize it until it becomes your new norm. This is why you are here, to have an insight, to integrate into that insight, stabilize it, you have a new norm. In the beginning, when you have an insight, you're on a high, but you're not here to get high, you're here to get free. So you integrate spiritual practice, integrate all the ways and the practices that Sue is bringing to you, allows for integration to occur, and then you become stable at that state. And that becomes your new norm. And then what does that birth? A state then gives birth to another stage. We're infinite beings. So there's infinite stages of unfoldment. So as you're able to stabilize a state of consciousness, not fluctuating, but stabilizing, then a new state emerges. Like if you plant a tree and it becomes stable, eventually the stages of the shoots and the flowers or the apples or whatever the fruit is emerges. As you become stable in your state, then the fruitage of the spirit, according to your uniqueness, gets to express itself. And then you are no longer waiting for some God in the sky to come and handle stuff. The presence that's everywhere is waiting for you to wake up to your glorious nature. That which is already handled may be handled through you. Innovativeness, the resourcefulness, the creativity, the generosity, the forgiveness, the prayer, the kindness, all of that can begin to express through you as a duly empowered spiritual being. Indeed, you're more than you think you are. You're more than you think you are. So as awareness, catching insight, integrating, stabilizing, developing a new norm, what happens from there? The feeling tone that you carry is matched by the universal presence, its law, and more than you can imagine, your life begins to demonstrate more than you can possibly imagine in terms of wholeness, in terms of well-being, in terms of love, in terms of peace, And the love and the peace and the joy is no longer based on a condition. That's temporary happiness. The joy is temporary joy because if something changes in the world and you're not happy anymore, it's based upon your intrinsic nature being set free. So you can literally be in joy and happiness and peace, even in the world of phenomena when things are all fluxed up. Doesn't mean you don't like things. Doesn't mean you don't have preferences. But it means the world can't steal your joy any longer. And then that which sadness or melancholy or grief, it does pass through you. But it's passing through a field of love and beauty and intelligence, of which you are now identified with and as. So what are we talking about? You're talking about you being an empowered being, no longer living, victimized by circumstances, but being pulled by a great destiny that's loaded and coded within every aspect of your being. This is why I can say life is good. I didn't say all life experiences are good. Life itself is magnificent. And life itself wants to know itself as you. It already knows itself. It knows life, God, whatever word you want to use, it knows itself totally and completely. But it wants to know itself as you. It wants to come into an awareness of you. How does love reveal itself through you? How does peace reveal itself to you? How does creativity reveal itself as you? How does abundance reveal itself to you? As you. God wants to know itself as you. It's a good life. It's a good life, I tell you. It's a good life. Sue.
Reverend Michael Beckwith. Oh my goodness. You are that. You are that. You are that we speak of. And this is, my friends that are here joining us this evening, this is something that each of us possesses. This
Yes.
clarity, it is within. We are what this conversation is about. And even if you're able to follow all of it or part of it or whatever it may be, fret not. Just open your hearts to recognizing that you are a reverberation of the divine. You are here. And our beautiful brother Michael is always articulating it in such a magnificent, magnificent way. There is a clarification that has been happening. I see energy and I work with energy, and there's a clarification that has been happening while Reverend Michael has been speaking, falling away, layers of energy simply just dropping away that are no longer needed, that do not resonate with the clarity of what we're just describing right here. And so just by being in the presence of this conversation, it is happening. Sheaths of layers of veils that have been cloaking us as a humanity simply fall away when we tap the truth and bring it forward and bring it awake.
Absolutely.
And Michael, you do this like no other.
I appreciate you. And you know, it is the solstice. So this is a time, obviously, when we use the darkness as a fruitful darkness to really reflect on all that we want to let go of and are willing to let go of, things that may have served us in the past, and really reflect. And as we observe it, it changes on the subatomic level and we can let it go. And we begin to embrace that which wants to call our name, and that which is calling our name, our nature wants to express through us. So this is a great time. This is a great day for you to be doing this. For
Yes.
people to really take this time of introspection and sacred silence and holy conversation to move to a state of transpection, going beyond extrospection, introspection to a transpection where we see differently with consciousness. Deep reflection on what we can now let go of. I'm so grateful to be a part of what you're doing.
Thank you so much. Michael, when you close your eyes tonight, what will you be allowing to have occur? What will that experience be for you this evening?
First of all, you know, as a practice, when I close my eyes, what I seek to do often is let the day go, and any anything of the day that I need to forgive, whether myself or anyone else, I kind of let it go so I don't carry it into the next day. That's a part of the practice. And then I generally ask, how can I be of service even as the body is sleeping? Many years ago, I had an experience. So I used to practice leaving my body and traveling and moving things and trying and then waking up and see how far I'd moved and things like that. And then I'll tell you the story very briefly. Then one day I was going down the hallway outside of my body, and a whirlwind picked me up and sat me in a chair. And people in front of me wanted guidance. And they would come, they would ask me a question, I would share guidance and pray for them, and they would fade into the wall behind me. So I said to myself, oh, maybe I know some of these people. So there was a couple of people that I knew. I knew in my life. They weren't in my life at that time, but I knew them. I went to high school with them. One person said he was crying because he had been cut in training camp for the Rams. He didn't have a job. This other lady was crying because she had gotten married, and to a charlatan, he had stolen all her money. So anyway, when I came out of this sleep, I started asking around about these people, nonchalantly, how's so-and-so doing, you know? And the first person was playing with the Dallas Cowboys. He wasn't playing with the Rams. I said, well, that's interesting. The next person had never been married. Within a short period of time, he was cut from the Dallas Cowboys, and he was released by the Rams, but he was picked up by the front office, the Oakland Raiders. Her money had gotten stolen. Then she found her soulmate, a very wealthy man, and she was very, very happy. I'm saying all that to say this, that what I do is, instead of doing that, going out and trying to do stuff, I just say, wherever I'm most needed, send me, even as the body is sleeping. So I'll find myself in places sometimes praying, counseling people, visiting people. Sometimes I'll just say, just let me sleep tonight and do with my consciousness what you want, but I want to go to sleep tonight. But tonight, I will do exactly, because it's the winter solstice, I will say, let me let go of anything that no longer serves me, that I can be a greater instrument for the divine. That's where I'll live tonight.
Beautiful. I have a feeling a few thousand people will be doing the same along with you, as your suggestion and your guidance has provided an opening to that possibility this evening. So thank you so much, Michael, for in your busy, amazing, I have a busy life. And
no, you do.
You have a busy life.
we have a lot of activities.
Yes, we have a lot of activities that we love to participate in. And I thank you so much for taking the time to carve a moment to share with our beloved family and friends and new friends that we have met this evening that are joining us for the first time, and sharing your wisdom and your beautiful, beautiful light on this perfect moment, the winter solstice.
Well, I appreciate you. And for those newcomers, I just want you to say you step into a rich field called Sue Morter. It's a powerful field. It is backed by years of insight revelations that she's had. She knows what she's talking about, so you're in good hands. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you, Michael. Much love. Namaste.
Namaste.
Oh. So you may feel completely washed. You may feel completely filleted open. You may feel illuminated. And all of the above is a perfect state of being. You may feel that you are sitting here wondering what all of this conversation is about. And please know that you are also in the perfect moment and the perfect state because of that. We are all in phases and cycles and aspects of our own development and unfoldment. And there may be a moment 5 days from now where the clarity of this conversation drops in and all of a sudden you get it. There may have been a moment 5 days ago where you felt very connected to such alignment, and today you feel that you're in a void. Don't worry about it. All of it is in divine right timing, and the pacing and the openings and the anchorings and the embodiments are always, always taking place in their perfect order. This divine system knows what it's doing. Our purpose for gathering here this evening is to enhance our ability to have an appreciation for the divine unfoldment that is happening in our lives always. For the greater our appreciation, the more we can maintain the vibrational frequencies inside of our systems that allow the divine to unfold without interfering with it. It's all going to unfold, this perfect divine path. The soul's purpose and the soul contracts and your divine plan and your life purpose are all unfolding in their glorious, glorious, perfect pathway. They are rolling out. It is not interfered with. There has not been a wrong turn taken ever. And when we can begin to allow the mind to accept such a reality, we begin to truly participate in a divine unfoldment. And we keep coming back until we learn how to do it that way. And when we do it that way, abundance flows. We heal on every level of our lives. A healing transmission is coming up, but first I want to share with you another beloved friend and her beautiful, beautiful gifts and her come from the realm of the angelic. Jeralyn Glass is not only a friend, she started as a student in the energy codes, and she has become a beloved friend, but she is not only a friend, she has now become a colleague inside of the world of personal transformation. Healing is offered through sound vibrational frequency, through the work that Jeralyn does. We are made of light. We are made of light. We are a high frequency energy that is pure consciousness, and we'll call it light. And when we begin to compress the high frequency energy that is light, that we are, when we compress that light, we eventually create physical form. So we here in this physical body are a compressed version of us in the divine unified field in the great void. And so that divine unified field of light is the void, and we have compressed ourselves here into this body, sometimes over compressing with contractions and fears and regrets and feeling as if something should have happened differently than it did. So we, in our victimized states, we begin to alter that expression of the divine light that we are. And in those distortions, we suffer. We suffer physically. We suffer emotionally, we suffer mentally, we constantly run programs through our minds that are not relevant, but they are compensatory. They are relative to a past experience. They are not relevant to this present now reality, but they are relative to what we've been through so far. So tonight is an invitation for us to begin to stop operating from a place of relativity and start operating from a place of relevancy, meaning to be present in the now moment, free from past experience, simply available. And one of the ways that we can do that is to find our true state. So sound vibration healing is a way that we activate that true state. Because when we begin compressing light, it creates a vibrational frequency upon the very first compression. That first compression creates a vibration that we call love. So love is a vibrational frequency that the more often we can tap the frequency of love, the closer we are to true state, the closer we are to the unified field version of who we are, instead of this human version that we've created as a vehicle to bring the light that we are to the third dimension. We had to compress ourselves into physical form to get here. We came on a mission to bring the light that we are made of. And so through sound healing and the sound bath that you're about to experience, we can start to come into touch with a truer state of who we are than we've been in touch with when we live in our heads. We compress through story, we agitate and aggravate and agonize over the effects of that story, and we live and try to transcend it as best we can, all the while if we would just stop thinking and start feeling and start receiving, we would be available to the great divine presence that we truly are. And our lives will become a reflection of that. And so my beloved friend and colleague, Jeralyn Glass, is with us here now. And I want to welcome her here with us, that we might share a few moments of her great gift and her great generosity of spirit. She is always wanting to share and to serve and to allow more and more people to understand the value of vibrational sound healing. And so through crystal cadence and what she is bringing to us now, through the healing tones of crystal bowls and her stringed instrument as well, and her beautiful, professionally trained opera voice, she is going to bring some simple sounds and tones to allow you to explore you in this beautiful sound bath moment. We will move after her sound bath into a healing transmission and into more and more layers of deep inquiry into the void in our remaining time this evening. But for now, I give you the great gift of Jeralyn Glass and everything that she has prepared for us in her research of the beauty of healing through sound vibration. Jeralyn, thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Dr. Sue. It is such a joy and such an honor. Thank you so much.
Always, always. So Jeralyn is in her sound studio. She has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, dare I say, thousands of bowls, crystal bowls of a variety of sound vibrational frequencies, tones, and crystal alchemies using sacred resin from a variety of different jewel tones and sacred metals into the form of the crystal toning bowl. She'll be sharing that with us as we imbue into the next several moments of sound bath. Jeralyn could go for hours, but she has agreed to bring it into a concentrated delivery of healing tones for you this evening. Happy winter solstice. Thank you, Jeralyn. Take it away. beloved Jeralyn, thank you so much. The healing tones of the crystal bowls reverberate with aspects of our wholeness that we oftentimes override. We oftentimes suppress these aspects of our being. And when played through the bowls and reverberated into the space, it automatically starts to enliven and open these layers of us that have become so heavied because of our overthinking, overdoing, and our over-engagement in the manifested world, rather than remaining aligned and identified as this pure spirit being. So thank you, Jeralyn, for bringing forth. I wanted everyone to see how it works. We're moving into a healing transmission, and Jeralyn's recordings of bowls played to specifically activate the healing endocrine system of the body as we're moving into this transmission now. I wanted you to see the beauty and the grace of playing the bowls as it's part of the healing process. But these bowls will be played in the background as we move into our healing transmission. Jeralyn, thank you for your devotion to the service of humanity, and thank you for your being here with us on this beautiful winter solstice evening. I know that there are many things happening in your world, and your schedule is becoming so very busy and full. And we send our love to your mother, who we know had a fall a couple of days ago, and we send our healing love to her now, that she have complete and full recovery and be able to boss you around and chase you around before too many more moments pass. Okay, so give our love to her. Thank you, Jeralyn, for being here and for bringing your beautiful, beautiful angelic self to the world this evening. Blessings to you, my dear.
Thank you, Dr. Sue. My great, great, great joy.
Yes. Happy winter solstice, my friend. Oh, so we are so blessed to be here. We are so blessed to be here in this way. And now is a time that I would like to go into the work that we wanted to do this evening as a healing portion, as a healing opportunity in the winter solstice, when the stars are aligned and this great divine light is pouring into your system. We've opened the hearts, we've activated the mind, the high mind, with conversation, with song, and now with the bowls, supplely supplying support to the subtle body, the subtle energies that are in the background, that are the true self. And so we will move into a healing transmission at this time. And a few things to know. You don't have to know anything. That's the number one thing I want you to know. You don't have to have experience with meditation or breath work in any way. This is for you to simply receive. We have a team of many, many practitioners, and I don't know the number of practitioners that are here, but I know that we have dozens and dozens and dozens of practitioners that are here holding support for you in a remote healing manner. They are aligning with a true subtle body anatomy, allowing a groundedness and a nurturing presence to be here, allowing the calling forth of their own true mind and the fire of passion to be here. They are holding the space for the divine love to be known, to be awake, to be held, and to be magnified. They are here working with the throat chakra and allowing the great manifesting to occur that is you manifesting into this body form. They are here holding space for your true multidimensionality, the recognition that you are a ray of light and that you exist in every dimension of all of reality. It is true. And they are holding the space for that to be true for you. For what benefits you to know that is that when you are facing an issue in your life, you're not meeting it as a human being. You're meeting that issue, that challenge, that perceived obstacle as a multidimensional being that will simply transmute it and turn it into something creative that will benefit you rather than hold you back in any way moving forward. For this is the promise of this time of year. It is the promise of a new year and a new beginning. And it is certainly the promise of the work of embodiment through enlightenment and circuit building, as we are doing here. The energy codes in Morter Institute are 100% based in and supporting you to learn how to embody this light that you are. And so it is my hope, if you've not been part of our coursework, that one day you will join us, and that joining may happen in the foundational coursework that we teach called the Energy Codes, or it may be one of the simple classes that I'm offering. And I'm offering classes, and there'll be a link posted in the chat at the end of our solstice time together this evening that will allow you to find some courses perhaps that are of interest to you. A course in love after the first of the year, the quantum self and love, how they interact. These types of things, and remote healing, all sorts of ways that you can begin to engage your true self in a way and on a path that honors it for what it truly is. So know that that is available for you. And at this time, I would like our practitioners to align and attune to the qualities of the chakras 8, 9, 10, the chakras 8, 9, and 10, and align for each of our participants to be held in the highest congruence possible, the highest resonance with their own divine light, that they find comfort in the void, comfort in the darkest night, and comfort in the longest day, which will happen 6 months from now. Comfort in all of it, constantly working with the powers that be, with the natural law that is in continual influence for us. So we will have a healing transmission for about the next 10 minutes. We're going to go until about a quarter after, as we were thrown with our schedule just a little bit as our beloved Michael was making his way to the program. Worth the wait, I'd say. And so is this next portion of our program. And so we allow an attunement to begin. So we begin by holding space, knowing that there is a great divine plan occurring. And I am releasing my personal effort to control, and I'm dropping in to my own deep core system, this central channel that we spoke of earlier. I'm going to find it now by gently drawing the shoulders back and pulling the shoulder blades together, leaning back against my own spine, that a central channel is opened in my own system, that I gently roll my eyes upward, that I find the tension behind the eyes aligning with the shoulder blades, aligning with the deep tip of the spine and the pelvic bowl, gently contracting the muscles there. And then releasing all of these contractions, but aligning in this great central channel so that we can have the greatest power of generating photon density at the core of our being, more light in the body. And as we do, then I invite you to simply open your hearts, drop down as deep inside of your body as you can go. And periodically, I will remind you to release and drop even more deeply still. And so we are welcoming only the highest and all of the highest good, only the highest good and all of the highest good to be able to be present at this time. That we are here in complete safety. We are held in the great divine light, and the bonfire of your own heart is capable of transmuting anything and everything that is no longer needed. If at any moment in time you become unsure, just come to your heart space and breathe in your belly, and know that always, only, ever good is happening, and that light is pouring in, and it is pouring in for the purpose now of flushing and flooding everything that is unlike itself, that love is pouring in from overhead, even now, as a waterfall of light, coming through the crown, coming through the center of the brain, coming through the throat, coming through the heart center, dropping down even deeper still into the solar plexus where the power of 1,000 suns reside, the power to fuel this bonfire of love that you are. That which we be, nurtured, dropping even further still into the nurturing presence of the Divine Mother, the beautiful emotional, feeling, sensorial capacity of the human system, that we sense and feel the divine pouring in even now. And we accept, and we receive, and we know. For in the deepest knowing, we remember, as this light is pouring in, it feels so good. It feels as home, because it is the truth of who we are. We are the light itself. We are not merely receiving it. We are welcoming the rest of who we are into this now moment, all the way to the tip of the spine, to the hips and the pelvis, as this great chalice begins to catch the rest of who we are. And we allow it to flow through the body physical into the body subtle, as it drops through the tip of the spine into the earth beneath where we sit. 2 feet beneath where we sit, sacred terra firma, holy ground. We walk on sacred soil, chakra 10, holding our destiny. Christed consciousness, Buddha consciousness here, the ascension and descension qualities made possible from 2 feet beneath where we sit. Take a breath up into the belly. Let it rise through the solar plexus into the upper lobes of the lungs, infusing the heart with our divine destiny. Inhale bigger than the body. And exhale in every direction, in front of you, behind you, above, below, to the left and to the right, my friends. For there is nowhere that you are not. Exhale, expand your territory. Create sacred elbow room, if you will. Take an inhale from every direction into the belly. Stretch open the solar plexus. Breathe it now up into the heart and into the upper lobes of the lungs again. Inhale bigger than the physical body, and exhale in every direction. Practitioners holding the space even now, amplifying and magnifying your very unique efforts in a grand and devoted fashion. Take a breath from every direction, my friends, into your belly. Breathe into the solar plexus and into the heart. Breathe into the upper lobes of your lungs and notice how good it feels as we activate the joy of knowing the wisdom and light, the love that we are. Inhale bigger than the body. And exhale in every direction. Inhale again from every direction. Draw in the qualities, the capacities, the characteristics of your wholeness, be it compassion, forgiveness, faith, patience, creativity, joy, forgiveness, spark of inspiration, lucid awareness, clarity. What are the qualities of liberty for you? Gather them now. Breathe into your belly. Have them. Mountains moving toward you. Mountains of these qualities of essence that you will ever need in this lifetime. Gathering now. Breathe into the heart space. Stretch open the solar plexus just beneath your heart. Breathe into the upper lobes of the lungs. Breathe higher still up into your throat. Hold your breath in. Roll your eyes up. Drop your shoulders. Lean back. Sip some more breath in. Squeeze Mula Bandha or the muscles at the base of the pelvic bowl. Squeeze your blades, lift your heart, lift your crown. Sip some more breath in if you can. When you exhale, exhale into the center of the brain. Melt open your crown. Be in the glory of a divine presence. Be in the presence of a holy being, for you are. Melt open the heart with wonder and awe for the beauty of this crystalline night. Breathe the glorious opening to the planets overhead. Open your consciousness, all the while being seated in this body and being nurtured by Mother Earth. Be held, be loved, be nurtured, be known. Open to the planetary influence of each of the planets and the bodies of consciousness that they represent overhead. Open now. Open your mind, your throat, your heart, your solar plexus, all the way down into the depths of your being. Open to the constellations above our planets now. Open to the constellations overhead. Open to the light pouring through them and the matrix of light as they exchange with one another. Open to the gateways that are here now for us each year at this glorious time. Receive. Open to the divine presence of you, of life. Open to the divine presence of God, Goddess. Open to the divine great knowing. Surrender the mind to your own beautiful, soulful self. Simply be. For in this moment, a beautiful transmission is occurring. It is coming from every direction. Please include what is rising from deep within you as what is descending from overhead, approaching you from every direction in this quantum sacred realm. Traveling beyond karmic causal bodies, ascension, descension bodies, electric enhancement of the great divine God presence. Just simply let it be good. Let goodness be what pours in. Let goodness be what rises and emits and emerges from you now. For you are the glowing life presence of the divine itself. Let it pour in and touch the earth beneath where you sit. Let it rise as self. Let it rise as the soulful presence that you are. Let your heart be full. Let your throat be open. Let the divine self manifest here. Transmission is occurring even now. Simply receive. And at this moment now, glow. Allow the glowing that is happening. Emit, emerge, emit, transmit. You don't have to do anything. Just bringing your attention to what is happening. As we emit and emerge, also recognize more light is pouring in from overhead even now. Simultaneously descending upon the planet, simultaneously rising and emitting, you are giving and receiving at the same time. Be the gateway, that is all. Be this glorious, beautiful gateway. Rushing in, flooding down, rising up, emerging out. Let it make its way to the surface of your life, through the body, through the organs and the glands, through the tissues, the beautiful communicative, connective tissue matrix, holding a communication more profound than the nervous system. I am lighted body now. The electric body, the God presence, emitting and emerging. In this state, my beloved friends, bring your loving attention low in your body. Bring it to below the navel for just a sacred moment. For here, in the well space of your divine wisdom, rewrite your story. Allow it to have always been loving. Allow it to have always been supporting you to find your greatness. If in moments in your past life's experience you have felt suppressed, unseen, unloved, drop into a moment now and feel the flood of light into this space. Let it be rewritten. Let it be loved. Let it have been a test for you to recognize where you come from, what you're made of, and why you're here. See it moving you into a different version of self. See it giving rise to a perfected version of self. The one who was always meant to be discovered is discoverable now. Let it rise through your heart. Let this one rise through your throat. Let this one be supported by everyone here, gathered together at this glorious crystalline winter solstice moment. Gateways open. Be renewed. Be renewed in the dark. The great darkness, smorgasbord of the void. Here, where everything is possible. Sense, feel, perceive yourself as having always been loved, always been supported. What if it were true? Who would I be being now? Simply receive, clarifying, rectifying, purifying, amplifying, magnifying the perfected self, the holy wholeness, the one who came in this divine project. It is not personal. Receive. Be healed. Be remembered. We are gathered in this sacred space and sacred state in this moment. Bring your attention to the thousands of people that have gathered here together and bond as family of choice, family of consciousness. Remember, there is only one of us here, wrapping itself around the planet. And as such, we allow that which is rising through us to emit and emerge, to have a healing presence for the wholeness of humanity, for the misperceptions and the illusionary actions that humanity is caught in, we allow dissolving love to encompass and infuse itself into the minds and the hearts of all. Receive as you offer, always. Feel it happening now. Feel the beautiful healing qualities moving through your own body because of your intention to serve. This is how healing happens. Be the gateway where giving and receiving are happening simultaneously. A no thing, simply a space held. A consciousness, an awareness of the fluid flowing flood of divine light. A deep breath in and exhale. Let it be done. Let it be complete. Let it be embodied, and let it have been given. As it continues and will continue always, begin to move your fingers and your hands and your wrists and your elbows and your shoulders and your neck, and begin to move the spine, twist the spine and rotate the spine, and allow the hips to be engaging, and the legs, the muscles and the hips and the knees, the musculature in the calves and the ankles and the feet and the toes, and gently begin to bring your hands together, touching one another, completing a circuitry. Intertwine your fingers. Know that it represents the corpus callosum, right brain, left brain. Open, open, open. And then bring your thumbs to your heart space and press in. Come inside the heart and press out against your thumbs, and allow this beautiful embodiment to be felt in every cell of your body. Just massage your legs gently. Begin to feel yourself all the way to the physical version of you, and allow this beautiful solstice moment to have its way with you. As our beautiful Fred is going to bring a bit of embodiment forward for us for just a few moments, as we will then conclude our evening together. Brother Fred.
So with the light of a smile, may we with our hearts celebrate this healing, celebrate this new beginning, as we embrace, breathe forth for all creation, for all humanity, the love, the fullness, the divine wonder, as we embody the light. We give thanks for you, dear Sister Dr. Sue, for guiding us, bringing us into an understanding of fullness. So we go forth as we embody the light. Let the rhythm of the drum, like the rhythm of our hearts, celebrate this new beginning. We shine, we love, we proclaim breath forth, embody the light as we, from this breath forth, embody the light, heart to heart as one, as we embody the light. Breathe in,
Wow.
breathe out.
May everyone take a deep breath in together and exhale. And again, deep breath in and exhale. And once more, deep breath in and exhale. Thank you, beloved Fred, for being with us this evening. You are truly a blessing on this planet. Thank you for carrying the light as you do. I want to bring my gratitude to each one of you for carrying the light as you do. You're here in this expanded moment, in this expanded manner by divine design. The purpose of your life is to bring the light that you are. That is it. People ask me all the time, I don't know how to find my purpose. Your purpose is to shine your brilliant light onto the planet. It is to allow your authenticity and your vulnerability to matter. It is to allow your true essential self, your unknowingness, your availability to stumble forward with all the grace that the divinity of creation has to offer. That's how it happens. We all know what it is like to love someone who is simply just out there doing the best that they can do. So be that one and be loved. From every facet of your consciousness, this is meant to be. May the beauty of the solstice carry you into the beauty of you. May the beauty of this deep introspective moment in time bring you to uncover and to excavate the soul in ways that your mind has never known. It will reveal eventually that you always had everything that you ever needed to be all that you ever wanted to be. It will reveal eventually. Let us collapse time and let that revelation be now. It is my greatest honor to share this holy night with you. I want to thank all of our guests who helped to create a beautiful experience together. And I want to thank our beautiful team behind the scenes that is always working so diligently to bring forward one program after another, after another, after another. We are so very blessed. I also want to thank Jean Houston, who was in conversation with yesterday, and a bit of influence from our conversation came through in our transmission. And I just wanted to bring her legendary consciousness into this mix as well. We are so very blessed. Every choice that you make is to enhance the blessing that you are, to allow you to reveal that blessing in your workplace, in your families, in your relationships, in every moment that you're making a decision to action in any way. You are a blessing when you make those choices based in the love that you feel right now. So let us make a commitment for that to happen on this glorious, most auspicious night of the year. The unconscious becomes conscious. Bring your attention into your heart. Bring your attention into your deep belly, where all of this wisdom is wanting to rise as you fall asleep this evening. Breathe through your central channel and allow everything that we have encountered this evening to be incorporated and integrated into every crevice of your being. That is what it wants to do, and now we let it. So I thank you once again for your beautiful time this evening. My apologies for going over time, but it seems to be how we roll. Much love to every one of you around the world. Thank you for those of you that are up in the middle of the night. This is the beauty of love, is it not? Blessings to you all, and a glorious, glorious winter solstice. I so look forward to when we get to spend some time together again soon. Much, much love to each of you. Namaste.